Gold Makes Blind is a bangle made from black rubber and gold, although you can't actually see the gold. The thing about Gold Makes Blind is that you are asked to believe. We'll explain.
The iconic Lockheed Lounge by Australian designer Marc Newson was created in 1985 and retains its title as the world's most expensive design object. What's the story there?
Three-finger salute. But which three fingers? And what does it mean? It turns out that there is more than one answer to this question.
And finally, in this episode, did you know that although automated knitting machines have existed for a very long time, to this day it hasn't been possible to build a machine that automates crochet? Hard to believe, but true.
Hello, welcome to REMORANDOM, celebration of everything interesting and uncommon knowledge. I'm Remo Dufresne.
And I'm Claudia Chanshaw.
And Claudia, today's first topic is going to be about a remarkable piece of jewellery, and it reminds me to sort of boast to you a little bit about my 30-year-old daughter Lola, who's based in Rotterdam and trained as a jeweller but also an engineer and an artist, and she's created this amazing silver octopus on her Instagram. I pointed it to you earlier. And
staggering.
It is staggering. It is kind of like,
Huh?
How does that work? Anyway, I tip my hat off to you, Lola, if you're watching this, and I know you're probably not because you don't watch your father's podcast, and, enough about that. I won't whinge about that right now. When you eventually do watch this, feel a little bit guilty.
The work is exceptional. It's a breathtaking. It really is extraordinary. Kinetic.
Yeah, kinetic artist.
Sculpture.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Beautiful.
So, as I just mentioned, I want to talk to you about Gold Makes Blind. Now, Gold Makes Blind is the name that this Munich-based artist, trained goldsmith, Otto Kunstli, what he called this work. So Otto, who I met through my friend Robin Backen when he was visiting Sydney. This is how I became aware of the work, and this would have been back in the very late 80s. But in 1980, he created this thing, this bangle. Otto had this long fascination with gold, both as the material but also as a symbol for luxury. So let me try to describe this bangle to you. It's black rubber. It's a black rubber tube with a sort of a bulge in it, like a snake that swallowed a
An
cricket
egg.
ball or
Yeah.
or a soccer ball, and that bulge is a gold ball inside the rubber tube. So you don't actually,
cheeky.
you can't see it.
You can take their word for it.
Black rubber and gold, but you can't see it. We're not going to let you see it. You just have to believe it's there. So the bangle was Otto, a reaction to what Otto perceived to be a gratuitous use of the material at the time, and he just wanted to make a point, like a piss take, if you like. So the work is really conceptual. It's about knowing, but without seeing. It's about trust, and challenges your perceptions about material value and truth. This is a gold bangle, but you don't get to see the gold. So, I wanted to tell this story to our readers, and spoke to Otto, and he gave me the backstory about how he developed it, and he made one for his wife, and she wears it, and he gave one to a Munich artist in exchange for a piece of art, and he gave it to his girlfriend. She didn't take it off and just complained that the hard ball sometimes hurt the back of her lover. But then there's the story of the American banker who used to pull it out during his pitches to investors, using it as a metaphor. So you have to believe that the gold ball is in here, or if you don't, you have to destroy the thing to to see that there is gold inside. And similarly, investors must either trust the bank or, if not, destroy the foundation of the bank. Somewhat self-serving as a metaphor, given that he was trying to sell them investments. But my favourite Gold Makes Blind story is this amusing one from Otto, and I'll read it from the book. One bangle I sold via a Munich gallery to a rich lady who gave it to her teenage son. This piece came back for repair just a few weeks after delivery. The eye-shaped opening in the rubber, a result of wear over time, looked a bit awkward, but I replaced the tubing as per my promise to all buyers. 1 week later, it came back again. Now I took a closer look, and I could clearly see that the rubber must have been cut with a sharp knife. I could see a mark on the gold sphere. I spoke with the mother, and she was shocked, but had immediately a suspicion. Her son was showing off in front of his friends, telling them that there was a gold sphere inside, and if they didn't believe it, he offered to cut the bangle open, and even told them that the artist was anyway going to repair it for free. With the agreement of the mother, I put a wooden sphere into the new rubber thing. Into the new rubber tubing. And yes, after he cut it open again, he had to face his mother to share the bad surprise news. And she forced him back to bring it to me in person and to apologise. So I wish I could have seen that.
There you go. You got to have faith.
That hubrisy German young boy showing off in front of his friends.
Yes.
There's a gallerist in Melbourne, Anna Schwartz. I don't know if you know. Yeah, anyway, she's a big Gold Makes Blind fan. I've got a photo of her in the chapter on the book wearing her. People become obsessed.
How wide is the tube? What sort of size is it?
It's
5 mil?
Thinner than 5 mil. Yeah, or maybe 8 mil. Maybe 8 mil. It's like it's like a big bulbous O-ring on your. So I think there is this kind of global club of Gold Makes Blind fans and wearers. So.
Yeah.
Jewelry is a nice thing like that. It can really.
That's neat. Yeah. That's a neat idea. Yes, have faith. I believe.
Yeah.
I've got something beautiful to talk to you about. It kind of goes from the jewelry story because the designer of this magnificent design icon was studying jewelry at Sydney College of the Arts as a student. So we're talking about the Lockheed Lounge, and this is, of course, an iconic piece of limited edition furniture designed by the Australian designer Marc Newson. He came up with the idea in about 1985, and to this day it holds the title of the world's most expensive design object, sold at auction in 2015 for well over $2 million. And interestingly, the Art Gallery of South Australia would feel pretty good about that because they purchased an early version of it called the LC1, named for Le Corbusier, and it was displayed at Newson's exhibition Seating for Six at Sydney's Rosalind Oxley 9 Gallery in 1986, and they bought it at that time for 3,000 Aussie dollars. So naturally, it's still in their collection. The Lockheed Lounge is a supreme piece of design. It's kind of retro. It's got industrial feel. It's riveted with aluminium cladding, but yet it's very futuristic. The name Lockheed is a nod to the US Lockheed Aerospace Corporation, and the concept is very loosely based on the chaise longue in Jacques-Louis David's 1800 portrait of Madame Recamier. The inspiration for the work itself was kind of aeronautical and organic. Marc Newson's a big Jetsons fan on your mark. But as a surfer growing up in Sydney, he was very familiar with the process of making a surfboard, shaping foam, and then adding fiberglass. And he fashioned the prototypes for the lounge by taking this coarse wire brush to a piece of foam and fashioning the shape, and then painstakingly covering it with filed and cut squares of aluminium, which were welded and then riveted into place. And it's a sexy beast. It really is quite exceptional. So Marc had been at Sydney College of the Arts doing jewellery. So this is kind of a natural progression into larger objects. And he'd always, as a littlie, spent hours in Granddad's garage. He'd be taking apart watches and clocks and building bicycles or little aeroplanes. And he used a diverse mix of different materials to make these objects. But he also has this innate way of coming up with something that's super cool and how to shift that balance between form and function. So he's been doing this for over 40 years, and he knows what to add, what to leave out. He's very intuitive.
He's got
and
good intuition that way.
He does. It's kind of like the designer's rock of eye. In 1989, the great designer Philippe Starck convinced the developer Ian Schrager to acquire one of the Lockheed Lounges for the lobby of the Paramount Hotel in New York. And then it really came to people's attention when it appeared in Madonna's 1993 music video for Rain. And from then on, it was just the ultimate in luxury and high design. It's regarded as one of the masterpieces of late 20th century design. It's a fusion of art and industrial design and craftsmanship. And he continues to make amazing work from his studio in London. And the diversity and the breadth of his portfolio is captured when Alice Rawston, who's the design critic, said that it's one of the most influential designers of his generation. And probably the spark for that fire was the Lockheed Lounge.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I like his portfolio of work and the fact that each project is surprisingly different to the one before. You know, I think that's part of the mystique and power of. I think I saw him just before COVID. He came back. We had a coffee in Bondi, and I collaborated with him on this celebration of the Lockheed Lounge. But yeah, he's still got plenty of juice in his tank, so it'll be interesting to see what's next.
Yeah, beautiful design.
Okay, something very different. The three-fingered salute. So you might be a bit confused what I'm talking about there, and I don't blame you, because what is the three-fingered salute? Well, there's a bunch of different versions of this. The kind of the oldest one really is index finger and third finger extended, and the thumb. Yeah. No.
Like
yeah,
that?
that's it.
Okay.
No, but stick your thumb out a bit like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And
and separate fingers.
Spread your finger. Yeah. So that's the Schurhand. That's very bad German pronunciation, or it's translates to the swear hand, and it's a hand gesture that's used in Germanic Europe and neighbouring countries when swearing an oath in court, and it goes back many centuries. And recruits of the Pontifical Swiss Guard in the Vatican City still use it as the sign when swearing their oath of allegiance to the Pope. So that's the Schurhand. And those three digits are meant to symbolise the so-called Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So
and here
number one version, here are the people, is that. Then the other three-finger salute is the Scout salute, the Boy Scout salute.
Dib, dob, dob.
Yeah, so that's, what was the name of the guy? Robert Baden-Powell.
Baden-Powell, yeah.
In his 1908 book, Scouting for Boys. So he founded the Boy Scouting movement. He chose the three-finger salute to represent the three aspects of this Scout promise. Honour God and King, 1. Help others, and that's 2. And 3, obey the Scout law. So that's a bit of a catch-all there. Then fast forward to 2010, the movie, The Hunger Games. that had a three finger. So that involved holding it up and then no kissing your three fingers and then putting it out there. That was a symbol of resistance, born of that movie. So, but then in an example of life imitating art, the gesture was adopted by pro-democracy protest movements throughout Southeast Asia, mainly Thailand and Myanmar, as a real world pro-democracy symbol. And they decided, oh, well, what are those three things going to be? Liberty, equality, fraternity.
Hello, France.
Yeah, so that's number two. But the final one is possibly the most entertaining, and that is like literally just a way of indicating the number three. And here we see cultural differences because it matters what fingers you use. Because in Anglo-Saxon, Americans and Asians would use, and I'm showing them to the camera for use or the video, forefinger, middle finger, and fourth finger. But Germans signify the count of three by hearkening back to their Schurhand symbol, the first two fingers and the thumb. So this cultural difference was sort of celebrated, if that's the right word, in the Quentin Tarantino film in 2009, Inglourious Bastards, because the actor Michael Fassbender, who was masquerading as a Nazi officer, was sitting in a bar and was asked how many drinks he wanted, and he held up his fingers, but the wrong three fingers.
Oh, the American way.
I know. So there's this guy who was UK born but a 25-year German resident, Adam St. John Lawrence, posted in an online forum, Quora, that was talking about this scene. And I quote, "Watching the film in Germany, you could hear a sharp intake of breath when he made the order by raising his three middle fingers. It was so strikingly foreign that it was quite implausible that not everyone in the scene noticed it immediately." So there you go. So you Germans, good on you. Good on you for having a different, way of signifying the number three. I'm going to try it.
I still can't do live long and prosper, so I'm having trouble with all the finger works.
Got a lot of rings on those fingers, by the way.
Just two. Just two. And just two. That's good.
Yep.
Interesting. The three finger salute.
Yes.
The three finger salute.
Katniss, Jennifer Lawrence. Go for it.
Interesting. A lot of the ideas that pop up in Remorandom, was three finger salute. Was that one of yours, or was that one of the contributors?
That was my good wife, Melanie.
There you go, the lovely Melanie.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the ideas for Remorandum do come from the community of readers, and some of them are quite surprising. And here's one for you, an idea brought to us from the community. And I'm very familiar with knitting machines, having been in the fashion business for most of my life, where we used to use domestic flatbed knitting looms for our knitwear, Vivian Chanshaw. But automated knitting machines have existed for a very long time. And did you know, and this is something I've just learned, that to this day you cannot automate crochet in the same way that we do with knitting because of the complexity of the way the stitching's done. So in crochet, every stitch is done individually, and then unlike knitting, where multiple stitches can be done in a row on the machine, crochet involves pulling the loops through with the hook and, great deal of dexterity. And the intricacy of those crochet stitches, like the single crochet, the double crochet, triple crochet, are very complex and can't be done on a machine. So apparently it's theoretically possible, but never been economically feasible to invest in the research to develop said machine. So that's a bit tough, isn't it? But I suppose what it does is it keeps the hand skill alive. There are some machines that can mimic certain aspects of crochet, like the warp knitting machine, but they don't fully replicate that traditional crochet look. It's remained a remarkably stable craft since its inception more than 200 years ago, and even in this age of advancement and mechanisation, we just can't do that. So for now, crochet is the quintessential art that has to be done by hand. And while we're thinking about crochet, there's a fantastic project known as the Crochet Coral Reef. And it's an ongoing project started in 2005 by the Australian-born twin sisters, Margaret and Christine Wertheim. And they crochet the living reefs using crochet and to create the little curly forms that look like reef organisms. And it's beautiful. It's quite fantastic. And it offers an impassioned response to the calamities that devastates marine life, and that is climate change and plastic rubbish. So that delightful idea was brought to us by Carolyn Dennis. Thank you, Carolyn.
Yeah, that's a great story. You know, Melanie has become obsessed with knitting, not crochet. And she can't stop knitting beanies at the moment, which is...
Where's your hat? And where's your scarf?
I've got several. But, you know, she's just... I'll put this photo up on the video, but she's just... she's in the Netherlands, and she gifted beanies to all of Melanie's Dutch family. It's a very cute photograph. It looks very Von Trapp family singers, you know. So
that's lovely. You can't beat handmade skills, handcraft.
I know, and
forever.
Even those daggy crochet, you know, in squares kind of vests and stuff. Now I have like a heightened appreciation for them now that I know that they were definitively made by someone's hands. So.
Absolutely, and Kate Blanchett famously wore a one-shouldered hand-crocheted dress made up of those squares by the label Romance Was Born. I think she wore it to the Oscars or the Golden Globes or something, and everybody was, wow, what is she wearing? On you, Kate.
I'll be Googling and screenshotting that for the edit. That's for sure.
There you go. Kate Blanchett wearing a crochet dress by Romance Was Born.
Let me finish with one small Kate Blanchett story, because when we had a warehouse for the Remo online in Surrey Hills, so we didn't have any public interface at all. It was sort of on the third story of a building on Holt Street. Melanie and I were working there, and so people could come in and browse, but it happened like almost never. Anyway, there's this woman over there browsing, and, you know, called over. Is it okay for browse? Yeah, sure. We left her there for like 15 minutes. Ultimately, she came over with an armful of stuff that she wanted to buy. And then I thought, this woman is kind of familiar, and it was Kate Blanchett.
How fantastic.
I know.
That's great. So she was buying Remo T-shirts.
Brush with fame. Yeah, T-shirts, stripy things, soaps, I forget, but all sorts of things.
She's a great woman.
All right, that's it, Kate. Sorry, I called you Kate. Got Kate on my brain now. That's what I need, Kate Blanchett, to buy a set of books and start waving them around on the red carpet. I'll get onto that.
You can see that happening, can't you? I can just picture it now.
Yeah, sooner or later. Probably later, but maybe sooner. I think that's it for today. I've run out. Have we done 4 stories?
Yeah, yes, we have. Count them on 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers.
Okay, that's all. Go online, order the books. We love you.
The books are called REMORANDOM. You never say what the books are called. What if somebody's tuning in for the first time? What are they talking about?
REMORANDOM. The guy that I did a podcast with yesterday didn't actually. He thought REMORANDOM was DUM, and I said, you missed the whole point of the brand. You know, it's like random. That's why that second R is back to front anyway.
There you go. But
and,
you can buy these books that are called Remorandum at remorandom.com. And if you've got a great idea like Carolyn with the crochet, you can drop us a line and give us some of your story ideas. We'd love to hear from you. hello@remorandom.com or at the website remorandom.com.
Thanks, Claudia. See you next time.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Bye.